Woody, did you get a haircut today?
Oh my God.
I went to the subreddit. I went to the subreddit and I saw all these comments like, in his newest video, the one that he just did with the sponsorship, is that the bad haircut or is it even worse? And I was like, what the fuck happened?
I went to a black barber, right? And in my head, this was the pinnacle of men's haircutting talent, right? Like I on Reddit, I subscribe to Black People Twitter or something like that. Are you guys familiar with this subreddit? And it seems like half the tweets are about people's hair game. And I was like, all right. so if you really want a men's hair cutting artist, then this is where you go. This is where like the cream of the crop. This is where the elite go to train. And
I bet you left. I bet you left thinking you look good.
Yeah, why did you
leave? Did you leave thinking you looked good?
No,
because he talked it up.
I left.
No?
I was mad.
But you were too afraid to say something.
Things that's
like,
interesting,
all right, sir.
I don't know if this will work as I get closer to the camera. He shaved my hairline. Like that, I
see that.
There's not
he
very much.
straightened you up like he would a black man.
Yeah, like a black guy. At first, it wasn't making any sense to me, and I'm like, why is he shaving my? Because that's not a thing that white people do. You comb it, right? I am going to have like a couple freaky hairs that are too short to comb for months, right? That you don't shave this part of your hair yet. That's what they did to me.
Yeah,
and he's shaving this, and the top of it. Like I was like, keep the top long enough to comb. Why say that to a black barber? That's not like a thing that he's comfortable with. Like
you mean pick it out?
Like
he was starting to do those lines in the side. And
I was hoping for the eyebrow line, like a little '80s Vanilla Ice action. But yeah, so he cut my hair as if you would a black guy. The whole thing was shaped, and he altered all my hairlines and shaved it up and stuff, and it hurt. It hurt. And like I think his shaver, so the way that the little like hair cutting thing works, you have all these prongs and then the blades go back and forth. Well, if one of the prongs is missing, then that wide spot will cut you. I think that's what happened, right? And he's fucking he's hurting me, and I'm just like, God, this hurts, and it's like it keeps happening, and I feel it like someone was taking a pin and dragging it along the back of my head. And eventually it hurt extra. And I'm like, dude, that hurts. He's like, well, why didn't you say something?
Not wanting to say
and I'm
anything.
like, I just said something. And he's like, well, just now. Well, how long did you know you were hurting me? Like, you
some white boy.
Can't handle a real man's haircut, huh? Can you, boy?
No, I can't handle your fucking broken down ghetto tools. Get a fucking, you're a professional barber.
I didn't feel like this was racist at all until we got to the ghetto.
Until he threw out ghetto.
Not until we got to ghetto tools.
I know where I went.
Friendly.
I think this is a perfect example of the shit you can do and the shit you can get away with because people are worried about being rude. Like what? Because you're like, oh, I don't want to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
My life, just fucking say it. Like it doesn't. At the end of the day, especially if it's the first time, like. Once I find someone that can cut my hair and I don't look like the biggest tool bag, that is a friend for life.
Yes. Yeah.
But new people, just no. You can't just let it happen.
This was a haircutting audition. I was looking, so I bought a new house and I'm looking for a new barber local to my new house. And again, I'm like, I'm going to aim high, right? This is the pinnacle of haircutting, and it's not. He was just unqualified for white hair. It's not a thing that you don't shave hairlines and stuff.
It looks totally uneven and bad.
Yeah, it's longer here. It's longer back here, and it's shorter.
Take it off. It looks like I could palm the back of your head like a basketball. Just a perfect.
It's all.
He did your hair like he would a black man's. He's trying to give you like a really symmetrical thing.
Exactly.
That's why it's taller in the back. He's rounding your head.
A white guy.
While he was doing that, just watch what I'm doing to this dude.
If you were to have this length for a white guy, normally the sides are practically shaved off, like a high and tight kind of thing. But no, I just have kind of a basketball head now. It's whatever. You know what? So typically I don't care about my haircut. I'm really flexible on this stuff. It's been 20 years since I gave a hoot about my hair. I came out of this place like,
you got the same.
I was so mad. Oh,
One
and by the
side
way,
is so much higher.
dude, oh, it's not too late. I could get Colin in here because he did his hair too. Colin's hair is
Wait, who got the haircut first?
me. I'm so stupid. And then I
And
gave
you
him my
still
son.
were like,
oh, I'm
did
not a
that.
good father.
Son-
I'm not a good father. I'll get him. Hold on. We'll go
That's
make this
amazing.
happen.
This is outrageous.
that's amazing. He's like, that was one of the worst experiences ever. Come here, son.
Come
Your
here,
hair looks
son.
great, Colin. After this, we'll get you some Jordans.
Oh, they really did. It's like he tried to make Woody.
We have to be a little nice.
Oh, okay.
Hey, so come here.
Whoa, big spender.
So chin up. It's just like really kind of like he sculpted the hairline again.
You can see that he
Yeah.
did
why?
sculpt it on the side.
Yeah. It's okay. Thanks, Colin. Will you shut my door?
Yeah.
I will
Yeah,
say,
that was a
I will
bad
say, I
decision.
think he definitely got the better end.
Yeah, because
That's
it's
definitely
longer.
got the.
That's much more preferable than.
Dude, it's longer. So, like, what happened? He walked out of there with that stuff. It looked like it was, in Lego or Playmobil, whatever they are. The hairs just kind of snap on the top. That's what it looked like. It was a really sort of firm, totally defined thing. But now that it's been maybe 2 days, and we comb it ourselves,
it's
better
never
than it
going to
was.
grow back the way it was.
No. Has your hairline
This is
always
forever.
been way higher on one side?
What's that?
Has your hairline always been that much higher on one side? Because I've never noticed, and now it's just really obvious.
Are they
Like,
asymmetrical?
got in there.
I don't know.
Yeah, man. Your face looks like a square.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say.
you look like you're wearing a wig, like that. Like you just suction that onto your head, and you're actually bald. That doesn't look real.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I got
Kyle, your
a haircut
hair's
so
looking
bad.
great.
I got a haircut so bad one time when I got back to work. They were like, "What the fuck happened to you, man?" And I literally went back to her. I was like, "You got to try again." She's like, "What?" I was like, "You've got to try again." I was like, I got to work and they laughed at me because you did such a poor job. I was like, "You got to go back to the drawing board." I was like, "Look at this first of all." Like there was a strand of hair like 3 inches too long. I was like, "You missed this," and this is just what I see. Like there's lots of this
on
going
the
on.
on the back of Colin's head, it was so we waited too long to get him. Normally we go together, and Colin missed a cycle, so his hair was like big, long, and moppy. Anyway, on the back, even after the cut, he had like 6.5-inch long strands, and you see his hair is like 1.5 inches. Yet there's like 6.5, 7-inch strands in the back. It was
Did he
like
use scissors at any point? He didn't use any scissors,
I
did
don't
he?
remember him using scissors. No. Yeah.
See,
He wasn't.
Woody,
Go on.
when you get your hair cut, you want an overweight woman to do it.
I'm
Every
listening.
time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you want a big fat woman to do it. You
I want an
those
old
enormous
Italian man.
boobs to be bumping your elbows, and it's a little awkward, but she's going to do a good job because she doesn't have anywhere to go.
I had a
I-
gay guy cut my hair for a few years, and he was fabulous.
Was that before or after the doo-wop you had going on?
After the what?
The like doo-wop, like Superman thing you had that was like spiraled in front.
Oh, this was way before that. This was, yeah.
You know,
I still do that if my hair grows out.
you know the scene in Gran Turismo where the guy like got his hair cut and he brought the Asian kid with him.
Gran Torino.
Mhm.
Torino, I'm sorry. That's in Apex. I have a guy that I think of it like that. I don't have the same relationship with him. We're not both like 70 years old, but he's a guy who's been cutting hair for a really long time. He walks with a limp and he does a fabulous job, and he doesn't hurt, which I appreciate now. This new guy, yeah, he had like a sour look on his face, like he hated me. I just sat there like in pain.
You're probably the only white person who's ever walked in there.
There was another white guy there, which is what made me think the coast was clear. Like I looked in, the barbers were there was like
But what kind of white guy was he?
he was heavy, short.
You have a haircut like you got?
He looked single. Yeah, I didn't see how he. So the barbers, there were two black barbers and another guy was I think he was Puerto Rican. You know, isn't it weird how some nationalities it feels like you're not supposed to say it? But yeah, I think he was Puerto Rican, and they all had
What?
like.
Yeah, wait. Do you think Puerto Rican's a bad word?
Don't want to be
It's just-
racist, but
Here's the
Canadians.
thing. What if I said, yeah, right? No, what if I said, you know what, Taylor? You got whatever painting to do. Hire a couple Mexicans. In this area, anyway, you're like, whoa, can you say that?
Well, we
that depends on
changed
how
things
you're
up a
saying
bit. Now we have a new connotation. Now we're looking for cheap labor. And you say Mexicans. In that sense, it does seem a bit offensive. But if you were
say
just
it
saying,
angrily,
if you were just saying, look at those two Mexicans, I don't think that's racist. But if you said, look at those two Mexicans, they haven't been here too long, have they? Walking down the wrong side.
Someone
I
here is
hate
going to
those
agree with me.
Then,
Like, I swear, if it's not white, you gotta like think it through.
I'm on Kyle's team with this one. It all depends on how you say it. If you're like, look, a Mexican gentleman, nobody's gonna give a shit. But if you're like,
Very true.
Mexicans in my house, like
Okay,
It's also-
or if you say like, you know, whatever, you know, who was here before? The black guy, right? You're really only being descriptive. It's not meant to be an awful thing at all. But there are some people who are looking for problems who will
I
define
feel
that
like
one as
that's the
such.
thing that people get offended at on the internet just to fuck with people. Like in real life, if you call someone black, they're not gonna flip shit. Like that's just a descriptive word. I
Just
don't think
today, I was waiting for James. I had to buy a new lock for my house, and it basically I wanted it to fit the key I already had, so we needed James to come in there. Well, James wasn't getting to work for another 10 minutes. He started at 3, and I'm like, all right, what's he look like? You know, how old is he? How tall is he? Etc. And the lady who was black wouldn't call him black. She just left that out. She's like, yeah, he's like 47 years old. He's, you know, he's tall, and you know, you'll see him, and it's like, you know, like he was black. That would have helped.
Yeah. Well, yes.
She eventually said, oh, he's got a complexion something like mine.
I feel like we should start a new show called Four White Guys Talk About Race. That'd be a great hit. We could talk about women's issues too. It'd be solid.
Anyway, I
Talk
swear
about the
someone out
NBA.
there is going to define me as horribly racist because I'm sensitive about it.
No,
and
more than
somehow-
one.
yeah, right. Somehow sensitivity is going to be repainted as racist when it's not meant to
Woody,
be.
we know you're not racist. I mean, look at that haircut. You're a brother.
Yeah.
Right? You want a whole new topic?
Please.
You look like you just are walking down the street in the movie Do the Right Thing. Like, your hair is ridiculous. But I think, for the most part, people, like, as long as they're not just looking to be offended, people understand intentions and they're not going to freak out over nothing.
Yeah,
For the
yeah.
most,
This should be a hood pass, really. It should be. I should get my hood. I've got a hood pass. Forrest gave it to me. I think it's still valid.
I don't think it is.
It expired.
I think you spent it to get into that barber shop, and then he put you on a hit your credit. Ever be able to afford one again?
Call